Hi everyone, my name is Aqsa and I'm a student at the Woodbridge Academy of Allied Health and Biomedical Sciences. So today I will be summarizing the press release about the National Institutes of Health clinical trial of an investigation vaccine for COVID-19. Now this article was published on March 16, 2020, so some of the numbers given have changed since then, and you will see that when I'm talking, as I'm talking, I will mention what has changed. So to kind of begin and kind of give you a background, approximately 153,000 cases were detected by the World Health Organization as of March 15th, and as of March 15th, there were 5,735 deaths worldwide. So now this number has changed, and as of April 23rd, 2020, there were approximately more than 2.5 million cases detected and approximately 185,000 deaths worldwide. Similarly, as of 2020, March 15th, there were 2,800 cases detected in the US of COVID-19 and 58 deaths in the US. Today, as of March 24th, as March 23rd, there were 843,000 cases detected in the US with approximately 46,800 deaths in the US. So as you can see, these numbers are rising significantly, and even in just a span of approximately 1 month, these numbers have increased and skyrocketed drastically, which kind of only highlights the need for vaccine and appropriate treatment, for COVID-19. And what is really frightening is that currently no approved vaccine exists to prevent infection with SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes COVID-19, further stressing the need for clinical trials to occur and for them to occur efficiently and safely in order for the better health of society itself and to protect people from the disease. So about the clinical trial. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, part of the National Institutes of Health, is actually funding the trial. So phase 1 of the clinical trials is being conducted at Kaiser Permanente Washington Health Research Institute in Seattle, and this institute is part of the NIAID's Infectious Diseases Clinical Research Consortium. So all these institutions are really working together and are kind of leaning on each other to get this clinical trial going. So this trial will be an open label trial that will enroll 45 healthy adults, volunteers, ages 18 to 55 over approximately 6 weeks, and they have already started receiving volunteer applications for people who want to participate in this trial. So the trial is testing for different doses of the experimental vaccine. The vaccine is called mRNA 1273 because it was developed using messenger RNA or mRNA, and that was the genetic platform that was used to actually create the vaccine. It was developed by NIAID's scientists and their collaborators at the biotechnology company Moderna Incorporation, which is located in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So how this vaccine works is that it directs the body's cells to express a virus protein. And hopefully, if it is successful, like most vaccines today, it would elicit an immune response. And now this immune response will help the body create antibodies against SARS-CoV-2. So if the person was to ever be infected with COVID-19, their immune system will recognize the antigens and have the proper antibodies to fight off the infection before they suffers any serious symptoms or complications. So what is a phase 1 trial? So I mentioned this word earlier, and a phase 1 trial basically evaluates the safety of a drug and it determines the safe dosage range of a drug. So as I mentioned on the previous slide, this trial specifically is testing for the safety and efficiency of different dosages of the vaccine. So the different dosages of the vaccine that will be given at 25 micrograms, 100 micrograms, and 250 micrograms. Besides testing the safe dosage of drug, it will also identify potential side effects. And a phase 1 trial typically tests a small group of people, which is less than 100, and in this case you can see that because it is testing 45 participants. So what is an open label trial? I also mentioned this word earlier. So an open label trial is when both the researchers and subjects know what treatment is given. So that the researchers and subjects will both know which dose of vaccine is the participant receiving, and this isn't ideal because it is prone to error and biases. The most ideal situation would be a double blind situation, double blind trial where neither the patient nor the researcher knows what treatment is being given and it is randomized. However, because this is an extremely time sensitive issue and the researchers want to get the vaccine out to the public as fast as possible, they chose to follow this type of trial model. So the trial itself involves 45 participants. It tests 3 doses of the vaccine, and as mentioned previously, 25 micrograms, 100 micrograms, and 250 micrograms. 15 people will be tested for each dose. So the group of 45 participants will be divided into 3 groups of 15. So that each participant will receive 2 doses of the vaccine, the same dose of the vaccine. So if one participant received 25 micrograms in the first round, they will receive 25 micrograms after 20 days. And then they will receive the vaccine by an intramuscular injection in their upper arm. So before they proceed and give all the participants the vaccination, they have to actually determine whether or not the vaccine is safe for humans to use, because although it was safe in the animal trials, the vaccine may react differently to human cells and in the human body. So only the first 4 participants of the 25 microgram group dose and the 100 microgram group dose will actually receive the first injection. And if it is deemed safe, then the remaining participants in the 25 and 100 microgram dose groups will be vaccinated. And then the first 4 participants in each group will also receive their second vaccinations. And then if it is again deemed safe, then the remaining participants will receive their second vaccinations, and so on. After all the groups have received their vaccinations in the 25 microgram group and the 100 microgram group, then, if it is deemed safe, the remaining participants in the 250 microgram group dose will receive the vaccination. After the vaccinations have been given, all the participants will have follow-up visits, but even prior to that, they will have follow-up visits between the vaccinations to make sure that they're not having an adverse reaction to the first vaccination, because you don't want to give a person who's having an adverse reaction another dose of the same vaccine, because that's going to endanger their health further. So follow-up visits will last for across a span of a year after the second shot, and they will be monitored for common vaccine symptoms and other medical illnesses. And then the protocol team will constantly evaluate the safety throughout all steps in the process. After the process is done, the participants will be asked to provide blood samples in order to kind of test the level of immunity that the participant has by testing the amount of antibodies that are present in the participant's blood sample. And depending upon the reaction that the participants had to the vaccine and determining the efficiency of the vaccine by the number of antibodies created, the researchers will be able to narrow down the vaccine range that they will test in phase 2 of the trial, which will have more participants and will kind of further narrow down the perfect dosage of the vaccine and other side effects that may occur. So if anyone is interested and lives in the Seattle, Washington area, they should visit this following website. For more information about the study, you should visit clinicaltrials.gov and search this specific identifier. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation. Stay healthy, stay safe, and social distance, and wash your hands. Thank you.